Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started. I want to make sure we have our other guest with us, Malia. Malia, if you're out there, go ahead and let us know, and we can get started. So we are excited. Awesome, wonderful. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you all for joining us. Special shout out to Doctors Mark and Tina Wong, and also Dr. Malia, who have recently become our US Founders 2.0. And so we're excited to have all of them, and I'll just give them a brief introduction, even though many of you know who they are and are well aware of the amazing and wonderful things that they're doing right now. So Mark and Tina Wong are from California. They're both doctors. Tina is a pediatrician and Mark is an orthodontist. And they have, that's right, look at those pearly whites. Those are great, and straight as well. That's awesome. And they have 7 kids. Is that right? 7 kids. So you stay quite busy with your professional career and being parents. So that's quite amazing. That's wonderful. Another guest we have is Malia and Ka'aihue. I hope I didn't butcher that, Malia. Malia is also a doctor. She got her doctorate in political science. So I'm joined by 3 doctors. So I feel quite inadequate to be leading this call right now, but we'll get through it. That's quite all right. But Malia is wonderful. And Malia, like the Wongs, has a number of kids herself, and she has 8 kids. So I think that's great. And if we're to take this small sample size, I would say to be a US founder, you'd need to have your doctorate and have a lot of kids. But we know that's not true, but we're grateful for the Wongs and for Malia joining us today. And we just want to get started by listening to them and hearing what has helped them to be so successful in going for our US Founders 2.0. So first, Mark and Tina, I'd love to start with you. How long have you been with doTERRA? When did you guys enroll?
We enrolled in the summer of 2015, but we didn't really start even considering building until around 2016.
Okay, great. Awesome. So you've been with us for a while, took a year or so to decide to start building. I think that is typical for most people. So that's wonderful. Malia, I'd love to hear from you. When did you sign up with doTERRA?
So I joined on May 15th of this year.
Wow, of this last year. That is wonderful. Okay, so I love this, and I want to just make a point really quick. So Mark and Tina have been with us for, over 5 years, 6 years, and Malia just signed up May 15th, the day that the Founders Club 2.0 program started, right? I bet that wasn't a coincidence, right, Malia? That's wonderful. But I love that because it goes to show that wherever you're at in your doTERRA journey, whether you're just getting started right now or whether you've been with us for years, Mark and Tina, you guys were at the rank of Diamond, I believe, when the program started, right? You were at Diamond on May 15th, and Malia had just signed up. This really does show how dynamic this program is and how much of an opportunity every single person has to go for this, regardless of your current rank or how long you've been with doTERRA. So I think that's just a beautiful thing to point out, and a huge shout out to both of you for that. So Mark and Tina, we'll come back to you. What motivated you to go after Founders Club 2.0?
Well, we really felt like it was for us because we were pushing for the North America Chinese US Founders prior to this. That program opened up first. And then we also have some Latin American builders, and they were pushing for Latin America founders, right? But it just wasn't quite happening. And then so when this came in to our knowledge, we were like, this is for us. And so we said, we're going to do it. And we really studied the point plan. We printed everything out. We met with our account managers and we said, this is plan A, B, and C. And this is what's going to happen if this happens and this happens. And so we just went for it. We knew that it would happen. It was a matter of time. And so we really felt like this was for us.
I think one of the things that helped us is that we were close to advancing in rank. That did help us. And our leaders, our qualifiers were not quite, had never reached that next level. One did, and we got half points for her. But I think the beauty of the program really is Malia's story. I mean, and you can encourage your team. You do not have to be any rank, and you can build a team and get to founders. And I think that even if they don't get there all the way, they've built up their business, and they've helped your whole team. So I think that's very encouraging.
That's awesome. I love that insight. Thank you. Malia, I'd like to ask you a similar question. What motivated you to go after Founders 2.0? Obviously, we talked about it's no coincidence that you enrolled the day that it started. So what got you to enroll, and what got you to really push for Founders 2.0?
I have to say that even though I enrolled in May, I was already a fan of the oils. I got them from my mom, and she was my supplier, and so forth. And then when COVID hit, I just saw so many women leaving the workforce, whether it was to take care of their kids who were homeschooling, or I lost people in my firm. So I thought there must be a way to galvanize all of this energy that's leaving the workforce in a way that would provide some kind of financial stability and wellness for people that were struggling at the time. And I had people in my own family as well. So I thought this would be perfect for them. I could help invest with them. And then of course, it turns out that nobody was really interested in building but me. So after I heard the founder announcement in May, I was like, okay, I'm gonna sign up May 15th. Similar to the Wongs, like I created a plan, A, B, and C. I actually think it's easier if you're new, because everything gets you points on the board. Like every move you make, you get points on the board. So I'm really, it's awesome that they from Diamond were able, I think, have to go to Presidential Diamond. Did you guys have to rank up? No, just one.
We just went to Blue.
Blue Diamond. Yeah. I mean, that's like, to me, closing that gap is much harder than closing the gap to Diamond. So I think that, for all of you new builders, or for all of you that have new builders on your team, really Founder is, we're positioned well to put points on the board.
I love that. I love that. That's awesome. And you both talked about, the desire to help other people. You saw that there was a need. The Wongs, you talked about helping people rank advance. Malia, you talked about people being laid off and a need for stability in their lives. And you saw that the Founders Club 2.0 could provide this stability and this opportunity to rank advance for people within your organization. So I think that's great. Next question I want to ask, we'll start with you this time, Malia. We all have this goal of being US founders, right? Most of the people on this call have this goal of being a US founder. But I think what distinguishes a lot of the people who actually get it is the process they actually go through. And usually our process is more important than the actual goal itself. And so, Malia, I'm curious to know, what was your process like of going for the US Founders 2.0?
I think some of my values going into it were that I wanted to have fun, and I wanted to build a team and bring that kind of energy. I felt like just at this time in the moment in the world that we needed some of that. So fun and fierce were the values that I built with. And I think that, those are really relevant, because you have to be really fierce. I mean, if Founder is truly a goal of yours, and it's something that you go to sleep thinking about and something that you wake up thinking about, you're passionate about it. And so, being really solid on what your values are and how you're authentically going to build your brand and your story, I think are really important. That's the first thing. And then the second thing we said already, I mean, I know we're logical people, because we got our PhDs and doctors, but plan. Like, you have to have a plan. The last month I closed Diamond in December, which gave me the points. I had like six plans on my spreadsheet in case anything didn't work out the way that I planned. So you really have to know your numbers inside and out, I would say. So there's a tactical piece to this, like you really have to be tactical. And then there's like a values piece. You have to be kind of mission driven and really true to who you are. And then the last thing is just the grit. I mean, it's the work. You got to put in the work. There's no way around that piece.
I love it. Thank you, Malia. That's some wonderful advice. Mark and Tina, I'd ask you the same question now is what led to your success and what was your process like in going for Founders 2.0?
We love to see our leaders rise. It is so wonderful to invest in people, and that's what doTERRA does. And so it's great to see them get their first 1,500 Power 3, to see them get their first 250, to see them rank advance. And so we had conversations with them and said, you want to do this with us? Let's link arms and do this together. So communication is a big piece. Helping each other is a big piece. And then being positive, because there's times when, you know, you're not going to get that person to come on board with doTERRA, or they're not going to do their LRP, but it's just keep going. And I remember we closed the gap in December, just like Malia. And I mean, that's Christmas. I just wanted to snuggle with my kids and watch Hallmark movies. But, you know, I said, you know, we're so close. And then I think back to what my grandma would always say whenever I was like in finals time. She'd always say, you're so close to the finish line. It's time to step on the gas. So I kept telling myself, just step on the gas and keep going. And so I'd have to say, yes, grit, not giving up, staying positive, and communication with your leaders.
I love it. That's awesome. I hope you all are taking notes. This is some great advice, and it's recorded as well, so we'll send it out after. But Malia and the Wongs, you guys are spot on, and I love your message. Grit, determination. We got to have positivity. Malia, we got to have fun, right? If it's not fun, it's not worth doing, and it's not going to be sustainable. So I love that. Make sure you're having fun when you're building your business. Otherwise, I promise it's not worth it. But I just wanted to mention, just because we talked about it a little bit, about goals. I read a great book this last year called Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a wonderful book that I would suggest reading if you have not read that book. It talks about not just setting goals, but coming up with a process and an action. And both the Wongs and Malia talked about having a plan A, B, and C, right? And so we need to have a process. More important than the goal itself is how we're going to achieve that goal. We need to really break it down. And I know that the Wongs and Malia have taken that to heart, and you have to have a plan. You need to know what you're doing and be very deliberate and intentional with what you're doing in your business. So I love that. Okay. The Wongs, we'll ask you one more question. What is your biggest piece of advice to give others that are going after founders? If you have, I mean, you could give us a couple tips, but your biggest piece of advice.
Okay, my husband's gonna give it.
Okay, awesome, Mark.
So I mean, it is. You have to look at the what gives you points. Yep. You have to do the follow-up for your LRP and enrollments and helping them. But I think helping not just your qualifiers, but further down, like the new builders, the people who aren't quite executive, and helping them see and grow their teams, because you're getting points for them when they're getting their 250 bonus, or helping the people that are getting premier or silver or gold to enroll people and get their empowerment bonuses, and then helping them get their 250 bonus, because those are all giving you points. But when they start feeling that it's possible and they're making actually real money and real commission, it gives an excitement and encouragement to keep on going. And I think that looking a little further down, and we had to, because we had changed some enrollments to get some rank. And so those people who we were grooming were not qualifying for us for other points. Mm-hmm. So we had to go even further down to get additional points.
So my sister-in-law, Cindy's here, and I just want to highlight her. She went like down from consultant all the way to silver during this process. And we worked together, but she worked really, really hard. And so she was one of the key components to us getting to founders. And I love that. I love that the company has this program where you can't advance until you help those who are with you to advance.
And if they helped you, they themselves are closer. They probably got a lot of points too. So right. They're on the board. They're close.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. That's wonderful advice. Build your builders, right? Support your builders. That's great. Yeah. And make it a team effort. That's wonderful. All right, Malia, if you had to give a piece of advice to other people on this call going after Founders 2.0, what would your advice be?
So I definitely agree with everything the Wongs say. That's so important to invest in your team and your people. And I did a lot of incentives throughout my building process to help that and to make it fun and exciting. I would say that I had an amazing upline, Malia Ka'aihue, who I think is on the call today, who helped to really create the strategy with me and paced with me in the pace that I wanted to build. So if you have mentors within your organization, definitely tap into their resources and their institutional knowledge. But I think at the end of the day, it's like really understanding where you are yourself. And so when I think about it, I think, you know, in any business, time, treasure, talent are the three things that we look at, right? So you have either time, you have treasure, which is money to invest. And if you do have money to invest, be really clear about that. If you want to invest in training for your team or in incentives, whatever it might be, or talent, and really understand what your weaknesses are. And whatever your weaknesses are, fill those gaps in all the time. And just lastly, like every barrier that I hit along the way, I turned into an opportunity. So every time somebody tells you no, every time somebody drops out, every time somebody ghosts you, all of those are opportunities. The lessons are waiting to be had. So just think through, like, what is the opportunity here? What is the learning lesson? And continue to evolve your business and your organization.
I love it. That's such wise advice. And there's opportunities in everything, right? And you know, we get rejected a lot in this business, but when one door closes, another one opens. And so be ready for that next opportunity. All right. Well, we're about 20 minutes in, and we try to keep these to 20 to 30 minutes. And so now I just want to open it up to Q&A. If anyone has questions that they would like to ask the Wongs or Malia, now is your chance to get some feedback and to get some answers to some questions that you might have. So feel free to unmute yourself or to type it in the chat, and we'll keep an eye on that. But now is your time. So we'll open it up to you.
Hi, Malia. I was wondering if you could elaborate more on the tactical message that you were giving us. What was so tactical that you did that can maybe help us?
Malia, I think you're still muted. Thank you. Awesome.
So for myself, I started off in May and I closed May as Premier. So my tactical game was really like from Premier to Diamond, or Premier to, at the time I thought Platinum. Basically, if you have no points, you're starting fresh, you gotta hit Platinum 3 times. That's a tactical strategy. You hit Platinum 3 times and do all the things. You should have enough founder points to achieve Founder 2.0. So it's like really tactical in that sense. Like I knew from the beginning when I started, I needed 90 leads. And I built that way. I looked for those 90 leads. I nurtured and groomed them. I helped my silvers advance and rank. So just be really strategic about how you spend your resources. It's a lot easier to focus and invest on 9 people than it is on, 80 people.
Great answer. Thank you. We have one in the chat. Maybe Mark and Tina, maybe you guys can touch on this one. It says, biggest advice on getting people on LRP. What are you guys doing to increase your retention and to get people to sign up on LRP?
Wellness consults,
Classes.
Continuing education classes, LOV is a big one.
Follow up.
Yes. And then I can't take credit for this, but Roger Webb, he has been a genius in terms of talking about how to redirect your spending to doTERRA. Like if you're already buying deodorant or laundry detergent or soap, redirecting that to doTERRA where you don't have to go out and buy it, it ships to you and it's natural and it's higher quality. So having those conversations.
Great. Awesome. I see another one in the chat. And I think this is great because it applies to so many people. What are best tips for incorporating your children on your founder's journey? We all have other lives. We have children, we have other jobs, we have other things going on. How do you incorporate doTERRA into your life to meet with what you're doing with your family and your children? Yeah, Malia or Mark and Tina, yeah.
Okay, well, if you have children who are over 18 years of age, you can enroll them. That's one way. Okay, you can build
There you
fund
go.
them. Really, I mean, and then they'll be getting a paycheck. And I told them, well, you need to tell your friends and have them come to our classes because they love the oils. My kids love the oils, so they didn't have a problem doing that. And then the other thing is to make it fun. So if mom, does well, hits her goals that month, and then the first of the month of the next month, we do something fun. We go out and eat, we go do something adventurous. So making it like fun things related to reaching the family goals.
But even like traveling or if we do a special treat like ice cream or we'll say, oh, doTERRA helped us pay for this or stuff like that,
Yeah.
So they see it's not just taking mom and dad away, but there's some fun with it too. And we do sometimes put pictures and videos of them on some of our Facebook and social media.
Yes.
They like to be on camera sometimes. They're not doing the TikTok yet, but they don't mind being on the gram. So
and we let them drink all the shakes. They love those shakes, by the way, guys. I have to like limit it to 1 or 2 a day. They just go and make their own.
That's awesome. That's great. That's sound advice. Malia, I'm curious, would you have additional advice to that as well? How do you build with a big family and keep your family on board?
All of my children were a part of our Founder 2.0. So I definitely say be really inclusive. Design an alliance early on, like, hey, I'm going for this. It's like this huge thing. It's going to take all this time, but I'm going to need your help teaching classes, making samples. And then when it's done, have a reward at the end. So we went to Disney World for 10 days after we hit Founder, and it was amazing. Awesome. It was just incredible. We just took a real vacation, and so all the kids really felt like they put their energy in, and they really felt the reward of achieving Founder 2.0. And I agree, if you have adult children, enroll them. And somebody asked too about builders and how do you find people. Really, and Tina mentioned this, referrals, right? Having people bring their friends and creating that atmosphere where people want to actually socialize and bring their friends and their colleagues with them for the journey.
Awesome. Thanks, Malia and Mark and Tina. That's some great advice. I think we've all been uplifted listening to you both speak today, or all three of you speak today. You're wise and you're smart, and we just love the message that you share and the inspiration that you are to all of us. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up now, but we will have more opportunities, I'm sure, to hear from both Mark and Tina and Malia in the future. So stay tuned and keep your eyes on the Founders Club 2.0 team app. We will be posting the recording to this at a later time so that you can go back and refer to some of these great tips that they've given us. But I just want everyone to please just join me in congratulating them first off. Mark and Tina and Malia, this is a wonderful accomplishment. So please show them the love, and we're grateful to have them as part of our doTERRA family.